Hi everyone, and welcome to episode 44 of Krista Knits. You can follow me on Ravelry and Instagram at Krista Knits, and if you like cozy mysteries, follow me at the Crafty Cozy Mystery Chat, my friend Manda of Itty Bitty Delights. Also, don't forget to hit like and subscribe so you know when new episodes are coming out. And I have a special code for all you viewers. Thank you for showing up for this. You can use the code CrystalT to get 30% off of any of my patterns till the end of July, including my latest patterns, the Camping Trail Sock, which uses 30 grams of self-striping yarn and one tonal, and you alternate to make this wonderful scrappy kind of a design. So this is great for all those leftover self-striping yarns. You could also use scraps. You can also use two tonals. It's a very diverse pattern. And the other pattern that just released today is It's All Greek About Me Shawl. Unfortunately, I do not have the sample of that because of All in Yarns, which this was made out of. She has the sample, and then she sent me two main skeins. So I'm going to re-knit this so you can see this in progress. It has all the Greek keys in it and has the laurels, the laurel wreath on it. See, that's the laurel wreaths that they wear on their heads. The texture in it is basically reminiscent of the rustic cloth that they used to wear in their togas. And then there's a beautiful border on the bottom. Let's see, do I have a picture of that? Of course not. Why would I have a picture of that right off the top of my head? Here we go. That has the border. And there's two different borders you can use. You can either do that one, which is the easy border, and the one I'm going to knit up now is going to be the hard border. So you can alternate to see how well you're doing with it. Each colorwork thing is knit in flat, but what's great about it, the charts are only about 6 rows to 8 rows long until you get to the border. And there's also a lot of texture weaving into the pattern. So you're not doing colorwork like excessively and you get fed up with it. So just get like a taste of it, and then you got the easy texture, which is a breeze. After like 2 repeats, you're going to be having flying off the needles. And then at the end, it's 3 colorwork charts to make up the border. So you could do 1 colorwork chart every day if you don't want to do the whole thing at once. It was a lot of fun, and this is the kits that was over there that came with this, that All in Yarns was selling with it. I got really excited about doing this. It's my first colorwork shawl, and I think I did one other. I think I had a sock pattern I did one time. So again, use the code CrystalT to get 30% off of any of my patterns, including these new ones. And now on to the actual show. So I went a little bit crazy, and I've been casting things on like a lunatic. I got 3 things off the needles, and I cast on about 6 or 7 things. Sounds about right? Get 3 things, do double the amount to cast on. So the first thing I finished, which I'm really excited about finishing, because if you watched last week's episode, I made the Leica Cloud shawl. It is in Knit Picks. Sorry, my notes decided to come off. What is it on? Knit Picks. Why are you not come? Oh, there you are. Knit Picks Twill Rosewater Heather colorway. It's a beautiful, beautiful yarn. This is the most cozy. Oh my God. This is like my go-to cardigan from now on. It's the Leica Cloud by Joji Locatelli. But in the pattern, she said it will grow about 2 inches. It grew 6 inches when I blocked it. I did not know what to do. And I was going to leave it. It was like up to here on me. It was horrible. So part of me was like, keep it. Part of me wasn't. And then I was wearing it with the strings attached. I was always tucking in the strings and everything. Sorry, my phone is going off and I can't mute nothing's muting. I don't know. Wait, here we go. There you go. Now everything's mute. Don't ask. I hate technology. So it was going, and I was just wearing it with it. I was just like, okay, let me see how I like it. But it was still bothering me that it was so long. So then I came up with the idea of maybe taking it down about 4 inches. And then I did the cuff in a size 0, because basically where I started the decreases was where I would have to take it down. And then it ended up being, when I finally finished it, I did have some decreases in it. So I decreased only like that much. And then I went down to a size 0 needle. So I went from 2.5 to a size 0. No, wait. 2.5 was the cuff. Over here it was a 3. And then the actual pattern for most of the sleeve was a 4. So I kept trying to play with this. And I had a really great decrease. If you look at my pattern notes, my project notes, you can see the decrease I did that was different than the one she did. And it actually came out really nice that you don't see the decreases too much the way I did it. Where hers, you would see like a line. She only did 2 stitches at a time, then wait, it was progressive. But this, I did it, and it was like a rapid decrease, but it wasn't too rapid, so that it would match up with the cuff. That was my main problem. So when I went down to a size 0 needle, it actually worked. I couldn't believe it. I was a little nervous when I was talking to you last time, and I was like, let me just do it. So as soon as I finished filming, I went to knit this, and it worked. I am so, so happy right now. And it's not tight, and it's not loose. Because originally it was still loose on me when I did it in the 2.5 needle to get down to the amount that she wanted. So I am so happy I did this. And it's going to definitely be my go-to sweater. I put it on right now, but it is so bloody hot in New York right now. I am like spritzing everywhere. It's horrible. And I had to take the fan off because of, I'm filming. You would hear the fan. It was going to be good. But look how short this, I have short arms. Isn't that sad? So this is done. The next thing that I finished, which I can't believe I finished this too. Who am I? The Darkwater sweater by Jennifer Steinglass. I used Vineyard Vine yarns, Courtesan, and Dead Calm, and I finished the sleeve. It fits beautifully. I have not sewn in any of the ends. I have not blocked it yet. I got to get going. But again, I'm not going to wear this till probably September, maybe October. It's been getting warm ever since I moved to Florida. No, you don't need to move to Florida. New York is so warm lately. You know, it's only like 3 months, I would say, that you're dying of cold. It's not. Like a couple weeks ago, it was so hot, it was summer weather. And it was still like in March. I don't understand what's going on with this. But, so I'm going to probably not wear this until September or October. Maybe this will be my Rhinebeck sweater. Who knows? I have been casting on sweaters lately, so we will see. So I finished that. Now, my other thing I finished is I showed you my camping trail socks. Leftover yarn for this sock. Because I started this first on a brand new skein. So I wasn't sure how much self-striping yarn I would need for this. So the leftover yarn, I cast on my pattern Vineyard Vine. That's what it was. And I knit these socks. Look at the difference. It's the same exact yarn. I just have peach interwoven in this. How crazy is that? It looks so much lighter, the colors, because of the peach in this. And I really just went to town with this. I didn't want to make it too long. I was a little nervous about how much yarn I had left. I did have some left over, so I could have probably done another repeat in the leg, but I didn't want it too long. And then I really just loved this red, which is weird for me because I'm not a red person, but I really loved it. So on the bottom, I would have to have another thing of blue. Like I think it was one more stripe of blue. So I decided not to do that. I just went with the toe color and just did the finishing off of the pattern in that. And I'm just really loving the way it just faded into this dark red. It's just so pretty. This is going to be so nice in autumn to wear. I'm very excited about this. And this is my first pair of socks for sock camp I finished. I did cast this on a week before just because of, it's also for my May colorway for the Desert Vista Dye Works sock year-long knit-along. I'm doing that this year. Don't ask me why I'm doing it. I am insane knitting all these socks. I'm probably, after this year, I'm probably going to be like, I'm not knitting socks anymore because I have way too many. But, so this was my May one. And I love it. I cannot wait to wear these when it gets cooler. All right. So, again, I told you about the All in Yarns, the It's Greek to Me About Shawl. So she had a fair. And she asked me if she could have the samples of my signature needle arts patterns I had with her yarn. She sent them back to me. So this is the Day of Roses, Wine and Roses shawl. It's a mosaic shawl pattern and textured. And I am so excited that I got it back. It's all in yarns. I don't remember what the colorways were, but are these me or what? I just love it. Oh my God, I cannot wait to wear this. I got to go to a restaurant so I can wear this because it's too hot to wear right now. And then my other thing I got back from her, again, this is again all in yarns. It's my Desert Rose Cowl. Look at these colors. How gorgeous. These I will probably wear out on the porch, because at light and night I get a little cold. So I could wear this around my neck. So this will probably get used sooner than that one. But I love it. And you can also get this pattern as a sock right now on Ravelry. And soon it will be a mitts, hat, shawl, and blanket pattern. I am waiting for Moonglow Dye Works to come out with this yarn that she had. Unfortunately, I did not buy it at the time. I just bought the sock set. I wish I would have bought the whole set of fingerling and the whole set of DK, so I could have made this shawl and the blanket. But in the meantime, she came out with this colorway, which is called the Paradise Sock Set. I thought it had more blues than greens in it, but it is a beautiful thing. I bought the whole set in DK weight yarn. So I was going to make a blanket. I am going back and forth on, do I want to make that blanket, or do I want to make a different blanket design with it? I don't know. But I love these colors. And then my other thing is, do I want to go all the greens and then all pinks, or do I want to alternate pink and green? So in the comments, let me know what you think would look nicer. Alternating greens and pinks, go from darkest to lightest, or to alternate pink, to make all pinks and then make it all greens. And again, go from darkest to lightest in each colorway. So those, I don't know. I'm obsessed with her yarn. It's just really, it's a crazy, crazy obsession. Okay, so my next thing I did, I've been trying to crochet on Thursdays. I was working on my Royal Fanfare throw. Unfortunately, I made a mistake last time I did not rip back. And I knit a whole round, and I realized when I got to the end of the round, I had to rip back. So I was like, stupido. So I had to rip it all back, and I got mad at it, and I put it, it's in timeout right now. So then I started working on this. It is for a float tote. So it's an insert. I'm doing this as a gift. I'm not telling who. So I have that. And then I started, I don't know where it is, on the little cup. So I have that all in here. Oh, and you know what else I have? I just realized. Haha! This is the leftover yarn from my Leica Cloud. Look how much yarn I had left over. This is insane. I'm putting it in a blanket probably. But I had to show you guys. This is a lot of yarn I took out. It's insane. But I'm knitting all this. Sorry, I'm all over the place. And Knit Picks Dishy and Sugar and Cream, I think it's called. I always forget the name of that company. So the colored is from Sugar and Cream. And then this is Knit Picks Dishy. I forgot the name of the color of this one too. I did not write these things down. But I am working on that. Hopefully we'll have that done soon, because that was in a big, ginormous bag. Again, I'm trying to work through my whips. It's insane. I gotta stop casting things on. I need to get, like, I have a coffee table in my house just full of whips. It's nuts. I don't know why I do this to myself. So I need to get that off the table and have everything empty, because this is my living room. It's not a craft room. It has turned into a craft room, let's face it, because I have yarn hidden back here. I got yarn over there. I got my crafts over. I don't know. I just really don't know, but I gotta do something about this. I need to get some organization. So my next thing I am working on is my Touch of Lace sweater that I am designing. My first ever sweater design. So it's going to be a simple tee. And I have, last time you saw it, I did start the body of it. So I sectioned off the arms, and now I'm on the body. I am using Artistic Lily in her Crumpets and Tea colorway. Unfortunately, she no longer dyes yarn. So I got this when she did her inventory sale that she was closing out everything. And then I got another skein. It's called Frog Belly. I think it's the same color. I don't think it's Frog Belly. I have another one at Frog Belly over there that's a sock set. It's completely different. So what I'm doing is I'm using up the two skeins I had of the Teen Crumpets, and I'm going to fade it into this just in case it is a different colorway. I don't know if it is, but it might be. We don't know. So we will find out. Yeah, I don't know. That's what I'm planning on doing. So I actually got this much done. I did a lot. I need to do a lot more. I really would like to wear this. It might have already been too hot to wear it right now. But it is so pretty. I love it. It's like a creamy pink. Or maybe apricot, maybe? I don't know. And I love the green flux. I love pink and green together and peach and green together. I don't know. I really just love knitting on this yarn. I can't wait to see what it's gonna, that finished project's gonna look like. And I am knitting it on a size US 7. So that is that. And this is my utterly adorable panda bag. I love me some pandas. Next is in my Rose and Seams bag. I have started the DK version of the surprise project, which I'm not saying what it is just yet because someone liked it as a cowl, so I'm just going to make the cowl. So this is the worsted weight version. And this one is in Knit Picks Semprium. What are you made out of? I do not have you on here, of course. Yeah, I don't have it on here. I am so sorry. I am so out of... I am also working on extreme insomnia right now. So I'm like slap happy at this point. Upside, I have energy. I don't know how I have energy, but I have energy at this point. But this is Knit Picks yarns. I think not Mighty Stitch. I don't remember. Andes maybe? But it's like this mauvey color. And this one is being knit on a size US 9. And that's going to be something else. It's not really a cowl that, but I'm using that as the dimensions for the cowl pattern. So you're going to have it on fingerling weight, DK, and on worsted weight. And the color I'm using right now is City Tweed, DK weight, and Cobalt. And that's what I'm knitting this one on. I am using a US, is it 5 or 6? Can't see. I think it's a US 5 I'm using for this one. This is how far I got. This pattern should be off the needle super fast. This Itty Bitty Delights right here. It's beautiful lace kind of ribbing. It's very cozy. And it's going to definitely keep people warm during the winter. So that's that done. And that was one of my cast-ons because I was like, oh, I might as well write up this pattern since everyone seemed to like it. Now in my Stolen Mittens bag, I have my Opal yarn that my friend Ashley gifted me. I have never used Opal yarn before. And it is leftover yarn from my Day of Wine and Roses and Desert Rose Cowl. And this is just a plain ordinary vanilla sock because I'm very confused on the way this is striping up. So they are not going to match because I have no idea to tell how anything, because the back is completely different than the front. So I think it's really like a potluck. You get what you get. So this is a plain ordinary vanilla sock. I was up to here, I think, last time I showed it to you. So I did all this and I put the heel in last night. This will probably be done next time because, again, I'm doing sock camp. I've gone crazy. And I'm almost done with that one. Now here's another cast on I did because I am insane. In my Golden Girl bag, I have finally cast on the Blanche sock. I know, everyone has been waiting for this. I am so sorry it's been taking me so long to knit this. But I was trying to figure out how to bring my vision to life. Because Blanche is very sexy, but then she's Southern. So I wanted something a little bit elegant, a little sexy. So what I'm doing is, it's going to have a ruffle. So thank you so much, Paula of Autumn Poppy Designs. She has like held my hand. I was like driving her crazy, like, how do you make a ruffle? So I didn't want to like copy her exactly. So I figured out how to do something by what she was explaining to me how to do it. I think I got it. I don't know. I hope to God this works because I don't want to rip out the sock. But I basically did a folded cuff and then I'm going to attach the ruffle around the edge. And I have directions in the pattern on how exactly I did that. I think when I do the second sock, I'm going to take pictures of each step so it won't confuse the people. And maybe I'll make a video tutorial on it. I don't know. And then it has a little bit of lace. And it's going to be a shorty sock, so I'm going to be at the heel very soon. And it's just going to be lightweight. The only thing, as I was saying, because it's supposed to be the sexy kind of Southern belle type thing, I was a little bit iffy on having a rolled cuff because it makes it thick there and the rest is going to be very thin weight. But then again, the rolled cuff might hold the ruffle more. I don't know. So I was debating on trying it a different way by doing a pearl bump. And then I felt like it was going to be really hard for people to try to see where that pearl bump is in the middle of the rib to pick it up. So I think this was probably the best way to do it. I hope to God. We will see as the months progress, well, as the episodes progress, how it comes out. But, oh my God, look at that color. I was debating on doing red because it's Blanche. And she always, everyone knows her in that red sexy dress. But I was like, I'm not really a red fan. So I am using Vineyard Vine's Footsie on something potion. Tiani potion, maybe? Can you see it? I don't know what I have to ask Kristen what that is. I want to say Peony Potion. I don't know. It's on her Footsie base. I am enjoying knitting this so much. Oh my God. I love this colorway. I love it. It's like a deep mauve. Deep raspberry mauve, I would say. Oh. So I think I can get away with Blanche. I really do. This was one of my cast-ons, which it's about time I cast this on, right? I'm sorry it's taking me so long. So that should be out soon. And now in my villains bag that I made, it's actually going to be really funny. I am obsessed with the TV show Once Upon a Time. I haven't watched it in a few years, I would say. I think the last time was when my son had his operation. This is what got me through his operation, me sitting in the hospital watching this show. That's how much I love it. And I never saw the full last season. It got a little weird. I think it went in the future or something and half the cast left and I just couldn't get into it. And I was running around a lot because I had a toddler on my hand and everything. So I have not finished, or I think I was pregnant with Justin actually when the last season came out. Yeah, I think I was pregnant with Justin. So it's been about 5-6 years since it's been off the air. So I wouldn't be sorry, or he was born already and it went off. I don't know. But I did not see the last season. So now I'm binge watching it to the beginning and I'm like obsessed with it. And I had to come out with this. Now, there is a story to this. This yarn is the Evil Queen yarn from Vineyard Vine Yarns. This is very, very special yarn for me. Because not only is it Once Upon a Time themed, it was the only one I could get in this collection, but I didn't buy this. This is probably the only thing out of all my skeins of yarn that my husband has ever bought me without me having to nag him. He just recently bought me 2 needle sets, which it took like a year to get. Because he asked me, what do you want for Mother's Day? And I said, I want this purple needle set, the Jador ones from Knit Picks. I mean, not Knit Picks, Knitter's Pride. And he lost his job at the time. Again, he's lost his job again now. We have no luck. But so he never bought it for me. And every time he'd be like, you want something, you do this for me and I'll get you something. So I want my purple needles. And it was just like a running joke for over a year, possibly 2 years. I'm not even sure what year it came out. I think it was only a year. But it was always a running joke that I want my purple needles. And then all of a sudden he surprised me in February with the purple and the pink needles from Leica. So I was in shock that he bought them for me. But again, I had to nag to get them. This, I did not nag. He surprised me with this. Again, out of everything I own, this is the only time he has ever surprised me with a yarn or anything to do with knitting. So this is very, very, very special to me. And again, it's Once Upon a Time. So I love it. And it's going to be a shawl design called the Evil Queen, of course. It's Vineyard Vine Yarns. It's on the Narwhal base that she no longer uses, which is also my favorite base of hers. So I got really excited about that. I think this is from Simply Serving. Not too sure. It's a little dragon. So I said Maleficent. Yes, I'm going all Disney out. I wish I had some Disney Progress Keepers. And then I'm going to mix it with this beautiful, it's on her Nouveau base. I think it's called Graham. Yes, it is. So this is Graham. I don't usually mix bases because I'm anal like that. This was the Evil Queen. I have been waiting for the right time to use this. It's like one of my most treasured possessions in my knitting. And I'm so excited that it's going to be for this project. And these are going to look gorgeous together. So it's definitely going to have a lace border, a little bit of texture thrown in. That's my usual MO, lace and texture. But, oh my God, I'm so excited. I just love it. I love it so much. And right now we're just in miles and miles of stocking it until I start putting in the black. Oh my God, it's so pretty. I was actually impressed that Kristen knew exactly what the skein was. I didn't even tell her it was Once Upon a Time or anything. She knew it was Evil Queen. Look at that. I am so excited about this. And I'm using the needles he bought me too from the J'adore set, which I love. The only thing is I didn't want to use the cable. The cable it's so small right now. It was like aluminum cable or cord, and it was just not bending. It was just sticking out. It was driving me crazy. But it's really pretty because it has like a gold tip like that, and it's connected. It was so pretty. This is a beautiful, beautiful set. Again, I'm not crazy about the cord, but the actual needles are gorgeous in this set. So this whole thing is everything I love. All Vine yarns, my husband, Once Upon a Time. This is a very, very special project for me. I'm very excited about this one. And it's Disney. Love Disney. I don't know if you can tell. I'm a Disney obsessive. You can't see the paintings. I have paintings of Disney. I'm obsessed. My first bag I ever made was the Disney villains. My favorite one, though, is Maleficent, but I have to say my favorite character in Once Upon a Time is Regina. She is amazing. So, you know, that's the one thing I really like of Snow White was Regina from Once Upon a Time. Okay, so my next thing is my sock cast-on from Sock Camp. This is from Stolen Mittens from the 2021 Sock Camp. Okay, so I am doing Follow Your Path sock. And let me see what yarns I'm using. I don't even know what yarns I'm using. I am using Molly Girl, the Diva Fingerling in her colorway Diva's Lament. So this is going to span off in another episode of me organizing things. This has caused me to have to organize a lot of stuff. Because when I was looking for this yarn, I couldn't find this card. And then when I went through the tub that I had, like, things that basically I have a big basket of yarn that I caked up and I never used. So this was part of that. I caked this up years ago. I got it. It wasn't Rhinebeck. It was the thing the night before. I forget what it's called. The one time I went there, I got this from her. And it's been sitting there forever. I never used it. And then it has these little flakes of blue. And then my Justin cable mittens, I had, no, not cable mittens, cable socks. I had left over blue from that. From that is Keenan Hand Dyed yarns. And the colorway is Writing the Crest, and that's this blue. And then I was going crazy trying to find a blue to match. That's how I ended up with that one. Luckily, I had it in a project bag. But trying to go through all my scraps to find this was a nightmare. And I actually just organized everything that was scraps or that was caked up or that was my minis. So those are all organized. I'm going to do a video on tell you what I did exactly to organize in case you guys are having the same problem I have and you can't find anything and it's all thrown around the house because you're always running around like a lunatic. So that's going to be the next episode. Keep your fingers crossed. But I am using the pen Follow Your Path by the Crazy Sock Lady. And this is from Autumn Poppy Designs, her stitch marker. The pattern's gorgeous. There's one stitch in it. It's driving me crazy. It's very finicky. So you have to get at the right angle to do it. But it's making this beautiful, beautiful pattern. And that's why I'm going to continue knit this. And I want to finish the sock. It might take me a long time to finish it because it's so finicky. But that's what I want to do. And it's beautiful. And all my socks are knit on a US 1 2.5 millimeter, unless I say otherwise. I forgot to say that. And I usually like to do a slip stitch heel. I think this one, though, has the... I forgot what it's called. I went blank. What's the heel called? It looks like a trellis. I don't know. I always mess up that heel. It drives me a little cuckoo, that heel, honestly. In fact, I think I just did it on something else, the heel. No. I don't know. Anyway. I'm going to do the heel that they want, not what I like to do, the slip stitch heel. So that might be the missing project that I'm not thinking of, that it has that heel too. That might be it. That's the thing I can't find. I'm sorry, it was driving me a little crazy. I could not find this anywhere. And I said, I thought I cast on something else. And it had that, was it, wait, maybe it was, did I use that heel on here? Oh, it was this one I had the heel on. Okay, it was this one. I used that type of heel here. I can't remember what the heck it's called for the life of me right now. That's going to drive me nutty. Actually, let me look it up so you guys know. Because I said, it's going to drive me nutty. So, Vineyard Vine. It'll take me 1 minute to find. A partridge heel. That's what it's called. That one drives me crazy because I always forget when to do the 2 slips and when to do the 1 slip. Always mess it up. So I end up like halfway through, I have the pretty pattern. You can see, this one actually I did really well on. So you see the pattern it makes? Sometimes it'll just be a big slip stitch thing. I mess it up all the time. This time I didn't. So that's what it's called. It's not my favorite heel. So this one's going to be on the needles for a while because it's got those finicky things for me. Not a fan. In my Molly Klein design bag, I have, which I cast on too, it's a pattern for signature needle arts. It is my Justin's cabled cowl. And I'm using US 5 signature needle arts with stiletto tip. And the yarn, I lost the yarn. I don't have the thing. It is in the same company as this, though. It's her Blueface Leicester DK. It is the Keenan Hand Dye yarns. And I forgot the name of the yarn. And I don't have it on here. It will be in the show notes, okay? But that's that one. I love this pattern. It is so squishy and easy to do. You can't see it though. Oh, yeah. You kind of see it, right? Yeah. So that's that one. And I'm down to 2 more projects, people. So I really did not do too much on this one. It's in my Molly Klein's lemon bag. I am using the Moonglow Dye Works April Showers. Yeah, April Showers sock set. So it has these beautiful blues and a dark gray. And then the main color is a light gray. I even had, from a previous purchase, a little cloud. So basically it's a colorwork sock from Twin Stitch Designs. I think it's called April Showers as well. And oops, my husband has to go pick up Nikki now. So it is a colorwork of clouds and then raindrops falling. I started the colorwork and I think I was in the mood to do it. It was coming out a little loose. Again, I go up to a size 2 when I do colorwork. I go up 2 needle sizes. And you could see the light gray in between the dark gray. And I was getting mad at how messy it looked. So I took it out and I was like, well, my eyes are feeling better. I think I stayed up that night reading all night to finish a book. That I had a little blurry vision. So I was getting aggravated, so I took it apart. So I got the cuff right now. So hopefully next week I will have most of the sock done on that. And you can see I have the US 1 in there for when I do the stockinette part. Everything's fine. All right, now my last project that I have is actually not a new cast on. It's a whip. And it is it's in my Lily Styles Audrey Hepburn bag, who I completely adore. Anything Audrey, give me. And I am knitting the Stillness Drop by Alicia Plummer. So, last time you saw it, it was over here. I was still knitting in the round. I started the increases, and now I divided the front and back, and I did a little bit of the texture. I need to work on this more. I know it's going to fly off the needles. It's not usually what I like to knit on. I usually like top-down sweaters. I don't like having to sew on the thing and pick up the arms. So this is something different for me. But I loved the texture on the sweater, and it's worsted weight. So that's why I'm doing it. And it is a US, I actually have this on here, US 8 I'm knitting on. And it's in Malabrigo, the Rios base. And the colorway is Lilia. I know, I'm obsessed with this color. This is more purpley than like Leica Cloud. So I'm not that insane. It's a little bit different. I could have everything in this color. I'm telling you, everything is this color for me. I love it. But again, that's the little texture that I started. Hopefully next time I'll have more on this. And that is all I have to show you as far as projects. Now I do want to show you my Yarnable that came in yesterday. Perfect timing. So the monthly Yarnable subscription, sometimes she has it open. I don't think it's open right now, so keep a lookout. She has a thing you could go on, her thing. It's on Hypnotic Yarn, and then she has another account that says Yarnable. I'll have them linked down below. And you go on there and you can put your email address and they will tell you when the openings are that you could subscribe to this. But you got a little bee tin from twiceshepherdsheep.com. Bee stitch markers that she had made. And this I really loved. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. It's called Bee Bella Handcrafted Lip Balm. Now, if you haven't watched this episode before, I make my own lip balm. So I got really excited about this. And I love this wood case. It's gorgeous. It's a vanilla bean scent. See, it looks like this. And the turning of it, it's just a really nicely made lip gloss thing. I'll probably finish in 2 seconds. So I'm definitely going to have to buy more of this. I love it. And I'm assuming it has honey in it because it's bee balm. So, which is what I make in my lip gloss. And now the colorways. How beautiful is that? It reminds me of Elsa. Yes, I'm obsessed with Disney right now. It's Pollen Party, the plush sock. And this is the full skein. Then this is the 50-gram skein. And this is called Cherry Blossom Bliss. So I get the full skein, a 50-gram skein, in case I want to make socks or a shawl out of this. It's a nice little combination. And I highly recommend her yarn. I designed something for her November box, the charcuterie socks. And oh my God, the yarn is so plump that right after that, I started subscribing to her because it was such beautiful yarn to work with. I don't know what she has in this yarn. It says Super Rush, Merino, and Nylon, but it's so plump. It's a joy to work with and so soft. I loved it. It keeps you so warm. That socks keeps, oh, I can't recommend this enough. It's beautiful. So I've been getting that for the last few months, and that was a birthday present from my mom. She asked me what I want. I said, could you get me the subscription? And she said, okay. So that has been a joy that I've been getting. A little treat. And I'm hoping I get that again next year because I don't want to stop the subscription because I love it. All right, so that is the end of the yarn. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is Cozy Mysteries. So I finished the second time reading this series. Oh my God, I can't tell you how much I love it. It's from Krista Davis, who is my absolute favorite cozy mystery author. First of all, anything by Krista Davis is gold. She's also the first cozy mystery author, one of the first that I've ever read, and she got me into this genre. Basically, on Facebook, when she first started, her and a few other authors, Lucy Burnett, which is funny because I read one of the Key West food critic things. Give me 1 minute. Sorry, my allergies are killing me. My throat's driving me crazy. But they had this cloak and dagger thing on Instagram, and you would get like free books, and you would do reviews on it and everything. You got a lot of arcs. They would send you bookmarkers, and it was like a discussion group. Basically, before Instagram came about, they had this on Facebook. Unfortunately, it's no longer existent, but I remember being part of it, and I used to love it. I was obsessed. All I used to talk about was cozy mysteries before I started knitting. So this was her first book in the Paws and Claws thing, the Cozy Mystery Club, which is linked below. I love it. Angela does an amazing job with her club. She's got me back to reading cozy mysteries. And that's why I started my own account for Cozy Mysteries, was because she has inspired me. And I needed something to get away from my knitting account so I could post reviews of books. Because Kensington, I get a lot of books from them and I post reviews on them. So Sorry, allergies. So I for the monthly book, it was the first in the Paws and Claws series, which is Murder, She Barked. Again, a play on Murder, She Wrote. I love Krista Davis so much. And basically, it's a town where, up in the mountains in Virginia, and it's closed off, and you have to travel by golf cart, and it's basically a place where you can go bring your pets. It's like a pet resort town. So if you want to go away on vacation with your pet, you go to the town of Wagtail. Yes, it's even named after the wagging tail. If all the shops in the town are named after pets. In this inn too, all the rooms are like sit, stay, tricks, like all these different names that have to do with pets. It is just this fanciful town that I wish to God existed. I guess Carmel, California would be the closest one, because I remember the Doris Day Hotel's down there, and it's by the sea and everything. So I think that would be the closest place that's around that's real to Wagtail. This town, I wish it was real. I would go live there. It sounds amazing. And then she has this talks about food. Her detail in her books are amazing. And as I said at the Cozy Mystery, they called her the Queen of Red Herring, because she will throw out all these red herrings and you can never guess who the murderer is. But it's not like, oh my God, where did this come from? You don't know how does she come to this conclusion? A lot of authors do that. No, you always understand who the murderer was. It makes perfect sense when you go back and look at the book. But she has so many details in her Diva Mysteries. There's so much, like, she has a different plate set for each holiday, and you're just like, where do you put all this? Like, I want your attic that you're storing all these plates in, because it's just, everything is just so perfect and wonderful and happy, other than the murders. But her writing is amazingly detailed. And it's not that it puts you off. Like, sometimes you have someone that writes all these details and you're just like, oh my God, I get it. Yes, this is what it looks like. You don't need to tell me that the sweat on the brow or something like that, But her details are all in there purposely. And it's just, she creates these worlds for you that are amazing. And again, this is the second time I've read this book. I really thought I was going to be bored reading a second time, and I loved it. And I kind of want to read the second and third in the series. I did pick up, this is the fifth one. The fourth one I read around Christmas, and this is the fifth. It's called The Dog Who Knew Too Much. This one had me a little bit nervous because the original owner of Trixie, which is the dog she found in the first book, came back. And it had me nervous that the dog was going to get kidnapped. I was like terrified of this poor dog like disappearing. Of course, in a cozy mystery, that's too mean. It cannot happen like that. But it was getting me very nervous. But again, I devoured this book so fast. There's two more in the series. I kind of want to read them right now, but I kind of want to span it out because I love her book so much, and I don't want to finish the series. But I think I'm going to read one of the Diva books. I think there's 3 left in that one, and then I'm done with all her books. And she comes out with 3 books a year, so it's not like there's not going to be more books coming out. There better be more books, Krista, because I need your work so much. It just makes me so happy. If you've never read a cozy mystery, read one of her books. The Diva ones are my absolute favorite series. This is my second favorite. So, highly recommend them. Check her out. And then the other series I read, which is another favorite of mine. Unfortunately, I was not that crazy about the actual book. I got this on, what was I getting on? I got it on Goodreads. So I had it on, basically Goodreads is a website that if you do reviews, you get the books for free. And you don't get the finished copy of the novel. You get like the editor's copy. So it has no page numbers, doesn't have covers on it. I did find the cover of it. I'm trying to find it right now. Of course, it's going to be eluding me because I'm on filming. And that's what happens. Come on, it should be right here. Oh, there it is, podcast. Okay. So it was A Dish to Die For by Lucy Burnett. Again, she was one of my first cozy mystery writers that I fell in love with. The Key West Food Critic series, I highly recommend it. She just married a cop, so this book was heavy on the cop detail. So I wasn't that crazy about this particular book in the series, but I think it's like the 15th in the series. So, I mean, you got 14 books that are amazing that I highly recommend. And then you got the, and I got one more book after this to finish, which I will probably be reading soon. Because again, I got that on Goodreads, so I have to do a review on it. And that one, though, I don't think it's going to be as heavy in the cops. And I read that it's got, from the last one, they went to Scotland. I think I talked about this on the last episode. And the women in it that she met in Scotland had come to visit her. So I think that's going to be more cozy-ish. This was a little too much cop. What I like about the Cozy Mysteries is that it has, like, it's amateur sleuth, finding out the murderer. It's not too technical. You know, we're not going with DNA samples and all that stuff. We're not going into the gruesome detail like you do with, like, a James Patterson novel. It's too graphic for me. Like, I won't look at NYPD or anything like that. Is it called? No, NIC. I don't know. I don't look at those things. I can't take graphic stuff. It gets me depressed. You know, I like the lighthearted, like Murder, She Wrote, Hallmark mystery things. I love Hallmark mystery, by the way. But so I usually love Cozy Mysteries because it's the amateur sleuth doing it. You have details about usually like the shops that they have, the knitting, the restaurants. It makes you want to move into these places. So this one, because she's married to a cop, they go on stakeouts and everything. It's a little too copy for me. So I was having a hard time getting into it until they found a mystery box. And then I was like, ooh, I like this. Then we got into cozy mystery territory. So the first 150 pages, I would say, was like, oh, okay. And then we got the box, and then it got interesting again. So I'm very excited about the next book. Again, I recommend this series so much. She is a wonderful writer. The series is amazing. It's just, think we're just trying to figure out how to work in the police husband now, because she's not going to try to fool the husband, you know? Then she's getting used to being married and everything. She was a very free-spirited soul. Miss Gloria wasn't in this book too much, which is the elderly lady she is best friends with that she used to take care of. Basically, she used to live with this older lady, and she made a deal with the kids, her kids, that she would stay and live with her and take care of her. So when she married the guy, she moved to the house. They live on houseboats in Key West. And she moved to the houseboat across from her. So she wasn't in it that much this episode. Last book, she went to Scotland with them and she was in it a lot more. I'm hoping the next book she's in it a lot more, because she's my favorite character in the series. So I was missing that and too much cop stuff. So that was what I have read since the last episode in the last 2 weeks. Yes, I've read 3 books. And I feel like I don't read enough. How insane am I? But we will see what I read next week. Oh, no. What am I I started the Cozy Mystery. The Crafty Cozy Mystery Chat. The book for this month is by Maddie Day. Let me see if I'm so sorry. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, you know where I can find it? I know. I made a thing for the website. It is Murder on Cape Cod. I'm reading that now. I didn't think I was going to like it as much as I did, because Kensington sent me the last 2 books in the series. I was like, I got to start reading from the beginning, because I'm very anal. I have to start the series from the beginning. So it's Murder on Cape Cod by Maddie Day. I am loving it. I thought because she owned a bicycle shop, I thought it was going to be very sporty. I don't like sports really. And I ended up really liking it. I read the first 100 pages last night. No, I think I went more than that. I think I'm halfway through the book. At like 40-something% it said on there. So I'm really enjoying this. If I read that in one day, it was crazy. And I'll probably finish it today the way I'm going. I kind of want to get to the second one of this, but I might end up doing a hat shop mystery because of my friend and I, Marta's Magical, I forget her name on, oh no, she's not even that on Instagram. She is on Instagram. Wordhound Writer. So she and I are doing a buddy read, and we're reading all of the hat shop mysteries. What's it by? I am going blank. It's horrible today. I'm telling you, no sleep is not good. I didn't even write it on here that I was going to. Oh, I didn't start reading it. That might be why I didn't write it on there yet. Oh, here it goes. Jenna McKinley. She's another author I love. So that's the one I just finished. Then when they went to Paris. So we will be reading dun, 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 Buried to the Brim. So if you guys want to join in, join in. So that one's we're going to be reading soon. So I might have to read that one next after the Maddie Day one. But I really kind of want to read the second Maddie Day. There's 5 in the series right now. So now I like really want to get to the ones that I actually have the physical copies of. I'm excited. But we'll see what I read for the rest of the month. I always end up with like these big long things saying I'm going to read this. I'm going to read like about 10, 15 books, which is insane. I'm never going to read 10, 15 books in a month. I think I usually get up to like 6. I think 8 was my best one I ever done. And I keep just recycling my list to get to my TBR. But I don't know. I don't know what. I have so many books and I just don't have enough time between reading and knitting to do everything I want. Obviously, with all these cast-ons, I have gone crazy. Yeah, and I've really been having a hard time trying to do reading and knitting. It's been a little bit of a challenge lately because I just want to do everything. I just want to knit everything. I want to knit other people's designs. I've been doing that a lot lately. I want to do more designing, but then I'm like, I think I need to just taper off and just relax a little bit during the summer. So I think I'm going to be casting on a lot of other people's patterns. And I definitely have to finish this because I think I'm up to 50 whips now. Yeah, it's out of control. So I'm going to leave you there. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe so you know when new episodes are coming out. And thank you so much for joining us. And again, use the code CrystalT to get 30% off of any of my patterns until the end of July. And I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Bye!